Everybody doing?
Greetings, Ankamat.
All right, Hotep, everybody. Hey, this is Michael Imhotep, founder of the African History Network, host of the African History Network show. I'm a talk show host, researcher, lecturer, and writer. It is Friday, November 15th, 2019, and we are live. And I am here with Kateria Knows. You see Kateria's videos here on the African History Network, so you're familiar with Kateria. And we're also here with Brother Seed and Sister Akmaret. How y'all doing today, Hotep?
Peace and blessings. Akmaat.
All right, good. So we're going to talk about the trip to Africa led by Queen Afua that is taking place February 12th through the 25th, 2020. And brother and sister Seed and Akmaret are leading the tour as well. And I know Kateria Knows is involved in it also. So brother Seed and sister Akmaret, tell us about this tour that's taking place.
Well, we're going to be leaving from the 12th from JFK to Cairo, and we'll be there 13 days exactly. We'll be visiting 16 sites. Within that, we'll also be going on a cruise for 4 days. And on the 22nd is a really big event, but because we'll be in Abu Simbel for what is called the Sun Ceremony at Ramses II's mortuary temple. So we're really excited. Within that, we're going to be bringing 40 women with us, 40 plus, that's Netter willing, to Kemet, to ancient antiquity, with Kateria and with 3 other sisters. And during that time, I will be documenting and making a film, which will be entitled Sacred Woman, which will be a biography of Queen Afua's life and, in part, this journey to Egypt.
All right. So for people who may not be familiar, now I've interviewed Queen Afua before. I don't think I've interviewed her on Facebook Live yet, but on the African History Network show, on Blog Talk Radio, I've interviewed Queen Afua. So let people know who Queen Afua is for those who may not be familiar with.
Well, Queen Afua is a 40-year holistic practitioner that created something called Heal Thyself in the early 80s, and then later went on to create something called Sacred Woman. She joined with Baba Heru and from the studio of Pata and created something called Smai Tawi in Brooklyn. Then later on, she went on to continue Sacred Woman and created this local Sacred Woman Village and a global Sacred Woman Village. And I think that that's now where Kateria comes into play in being a contemporary Sacred Woman. I'll let you take it from there, Kateria.
Go ahead, Kateria.
So as far as Queen Afua, she's just a very phenomenal woman. I actually honored Queen Afua at the Real Family Reunion, Return of the Gods 2018, alongside our host for this evening, Michael Imhotep, the founder of the African History Network.
Right.
And Queen Afua is just a very phenomenal woman. I came to be aware of her great works back in 2011, and that's when I read the book, Overcoming an Angry Vagina. I was dealing with certain womb issues, and that book definitely helped me to clear certain things out. And I also have her book, Man, Heal Thyself. So along with Queen Afua being a natural pathic healer and herbalist, she is a world-renowned author, and her book, Sacred Woman, has received many best-selling awards just this year, 2019. And so the year 2020, we're celebrating that 20-year anniversary of Sacred Woman. And so we're taking this trip to Kemet to celebrate this, to document the journey, the story, and to share stories of other women, of women who have taken the Sacred Woman healing journey, and just telling how it may have shifted and transformed their lives, and how they are also healers within the community as well.
Okay, excellent. How can people, I know there's a flyer with some information, some details on what's included on this trip. Is this on a website? I just showed it here on the screen share, but is this on a website that people can access?
Yes, we have a website currently up, which is sacredwomanafrica.com. We also have an Instagram and a Facebook, which is under the same title, Sacred Woman Africa. So there's going to be, this is an all-encompassing healing trip. Besides the 16 temples that we're going to be visiting, there are workshops within where there's going to be a detox, sweat, shut-in. There's going to be vegetarian meals, vegan and vegetarian meals, and we're also doing ritual-based workshops and exercises on the temples, as well as, you know, on the cruise line. So, I mean, this is a journey where we're going to be spiritually feeding ourselves, family. We're going to be, you know, documenting this and telling our own story. So it's important that we all come in unity and go there and, you know, just come together and fulfill the charge.
And one of the primary reasons why we decided to do this trip at this time was because of the 20th anniversary and the celebration of the gateways where they were created at the original temples. So that's Queen Afua's primary contribution, like you asked me before, was instilling the gateways of the Neterus and making it a contemporary thing, Michael.
Okay, so explain to people. So first of all, let's see. We've got Felicia watching, Tony, Bruce, Karen, just a few of the people watching on our Facebook fan page, the African History Network. Everybody share this broadcast on your Facebook page, share it on YouTube, invite your friends to tune in also. So for those, and Kateria's waving at you all also. So you see Kateria's videos on here. You see her sister, Herb Alchemist as well. You see her video, see Herb Alchemist videos here on our Facebook fan page, the African History Network also. All right, so Brother Steve, you were talking about the Neter, and Neteru for plural, and you were talking about Kemet as well as the gateway. Okay, so those who may not be familiar with those terms, explain to everybody, what does that mean? What do those terms mean?
Well, Neter is synonymous for the word God, but Neter comes from the word nature. So there's different principles of nature that are associated with these gateways. Mm-hmm. These gateways are used to open up inner pathways into your healing. And these are how the ancient Kemites, which are now presently known as Egyptians, used these gateways and these pathways for healing. And there were certain temples erected to celebrate these principles of nature. And then later, Queen and Baba Heru put these in the book so that women in the contemporary level can use them to heal themselves.
Okay, excellent. All right, so there's going to be vegetarian, vegan breakfast and dinner daily. Temple sites that you're going to visit. Temple sites. There's a 4-day Nile River cruise also. Now, Sister Kateria, you're going to do Life's Purpose workshop. Now, tell us everybody what that exactly is.
So while we are on the cruise line on the Nile River, one of the days, as a matter of fact, we have the definitive date, which is going to be the 7th of February. I will hold a workshop with all of the sacred women.
7th or 17th?
The 7th.
Okay. So is this cruise February 12th through the 25th?
Wait a minute.
No, you're right. You're right. You were right.
Right. Hmm? Yeah, the 17th, excuse me.
Okay. All right. February 17th. Okay. 2020.
So I'm an astrologer, and I'm thinking about the degrees. There is a planet that's going to be 7th.
Okay.
So, nonetheless, yes, I'm going to be holding a workshop on the 17th on the river, and I'm going to be discussing the in astrology we have a certain point called the North Node, and with the North Node, this indicates our life path and purpose. And so I'm going to be sharing with the women their North Node and how to really work with the North Node, how to incorporate the North Node in your life so that you are on your life path and purpose. Now, the thing about the North Node, though, and I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of astrology knowledge right now, so bear with me.
Okay.
We have a South Node, okay? And our South Node is our default position. It's our place of comfortability, and it tends to be what we naturally just fall into. And they say that our South Node represents the qualities and characteristics that we mastered in our last lifetime or in the earlier years of our life. And so the issue, though, is that when you are in your comfort zone, there's not much growth there, right? We know that. So we have to follow the path of our North Node, which is going to be bringing us that ascension into our lives. It's going to show us the qualities and characteristics that we need to develop in order to evolve, in order to ascend. So I'm going to be teaching the women how to really incorporate the North Node in different ways, showing them their North Node and the aspects to it and all this, you know, really deep stuff when it comes to astrology. I'm a master when it comes to the North Node and how it functions, of course, along with other things within their birth charts.
Okay. All right. So that's taking place February 17th, 2020. There's going to be a detox spa soul sweat as well. There's a lot taking place. There's something taking place each day. So who is Sister Akmaret? Who would you say is the target audience for a trip like this? Who are you looking to attract? Who should go on this trip?
Well, we are inviting women that have done the Sacred Woman program and women that have not done the Sacred Woman program, but also want to be spiritually fed. You know, if what Queen Afua wants to do is for all of us to be on the same page. So for those women that have not done the program, we are giving a 2-day orientation to those women with Queen so that they're able to understand what Sacred Woman is about, and that we all get their understanding and knowing what to expect once we're there for those 13 days. So we are also women that have, and their husbands that have also gone on the journey with them through the Sacred Woman program are also invited. And also children, teenagers that are 13 and above, girls that are also on their sacred journey, on their path, their rites of passage are also invited on this trip. So this is, a journey of generations. We just want to have everybody get the knowledge and get their spirit fed and, do the work that needs to be done to charge themselves and heal the planet.
Okay, so women who have been through the Sacred Woman program, you're targeting, and then also the husbands of women who have been through the Sacred Woman program. Right. Okay, so men could come too. Okay, it's limited, but men could come. Okay, so that's good to know. And then girls 13 years old or above. Now, explain to people, Kateria, what is the Sacred Woman program? Because I know you're going through it now, or maybe you finished it already. But
okay, you don't see this? You don't see my certificate? I am a sacred woman.
So, okay. Oh, well, these I'm still paying for these glasses. Okay. I can't see in the California. You know what I mean? All right, but go ahead.
Yeah, nevertheless, the Sacred Woman program is a 12-week journey that specializes in helping us unlocking the teachings and the healings of the Thurs. So each gateway is represented by a Kemetic deity. And these gateways, these deities, they show us different ways, or they represent different things that are, that make up our psychology, that make up our life, that make up our spirituality overall. So say, for instance, we have the gateway Tehuti, which rules the sacred word. So during that week of Tehuti, we are learning how to speak, with conviction, and to speak more clearly, and to discontinue utilizing improper words or words that do not fulfill our soul. Instead of saying hope, we say I will, and a lot of women, they stop cursing during that particular gateway, and they just start to use more sacred language. And the gateway of Sekhmet, the color is red, so we wear red and we wear white during the journey. And when we are undergoing the sacred gateway of Sekhmet, this is the time where we are really battling those different elements inside of ourselves, whether it's some type of a sickness, mental, physical, or what have you. We are fighting against that, and we are bringing in the energy of Sekhmet, the goddess Sekhmet. We are channeling her energy, bringing it into us to help us. And during the Sacred Women program, though, you are sent a feather and other things to help you on the journey, and you set up your altar. You learn how to properly set up an altar, how to properly work with your ancestors and work with the sacred deities. Also, you're a part of a sacred phone call with other women that are on the journey, and you're just learning how to heal. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And then after you go through the gateways, the 12-week program, there is an ascension ceremony where you are gifted awarded with a certificate from the program. And I mean, so much tears are shed. You feel so light in your being. You feel so clear. We're fasting, we're detoxing, we're really doing that spiritual work where we are really learning. And this is what I love about the program, is that we hear about Ptah, we hear about Sekhmet, we hear about Ma'at, we hear about goddess Nut, you know, we hear about all of these deities, but no one teaches you how to actually physically, mentally, and spiritually work with these deities so that you can feel them and actualize them through yourself and through your life. So that's why this program is so powerful to me. And just, you know, being able to take the program, but then also journey on the land that these deities really ruled in, and there are temples erected for them. I mean, that's a charge like no other, you know, being guided and being led by the goddess herself, Queen Afua. And
Right.
so, but yeah, that's the program. It's powerful.
All right. Now, people who may have read Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization, you may be familiar with Tehuti, who the Greeks call Thoth, and other people may have the book on the shelf and you bought it years ago but never read it. Turn to page 168, because Browder talks about Tehuti, and he talks about how Tehuti was then translated into Greek, and then also amongst the Romans, and influenced their deities as well. Okay, so for people, do people need to be of a particular like religion to go on this cruise, or to benefit from this cruise, or things? So, because you know, majority of African Americans are some type of Christian persuasion, whether they go to church or not. And then we have others who, you know, are Muslim. We have others who practice traditional African spirituality, etc. So, is this something that, regardless of religious persuasion, African people can go on the cruise, participate in, gain from it?
I would say yes, Michael. I think that what the spiritual platform is not relevant, but what I would say is that they should be seeking antiquity. They should be seeking origins, and that's where we're going to be going. So, you know, they'll be able to see the origins of civilization, and they'll be able to see the origins of all religions before they became religions, when they were just spiritual systems.
Exactly. Because, you know, it's not the Yosef Ben Yakinen taught us religion is the deification of someone's culture. And we know traditionally African people had spiritual systems, okay, as opposed to religions. So how can people register for this? How can they get more information? I know people can pay in installments as well. How can they do all of that?
Well, the first step is to visit us at sacredwomanafrica.com and to put down their $500 deposit, and then from that point on they can go on to weekly payments, very easy weekly payments, which are set up on the website, and they can do bi-weekly payments. And it's all through Stripe, it's all through PayPal, and we've set up a bank account that's directed towards Sacred Woman Africa LLC, so everything is legit and on the one.
Okay, excellent. Now, are there any books that people should maybe read before they go on the cruise, on the tour, to be able to gain the most out of the tour? Are there any books that maybe the three of you, recommend that they read?
Yeah, I think the one that you just brought up is my favorite beginner's book, which is Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization by Anthony Browder. I think Heal Thyself is also a very good starter book, and Sacred Woman itself, because a lot of the rituals that we'll be hosting will take place in there. The other one that I would say to bring is the Hosea, if they haven't read it before, because of the fact that we'll actually be doing Heka and ritual itself while we're there. So a lot of what we'll be saying can be translated from reading the Hosea.
Yeah, the Husia is by Dr. Maulana Karenga, who co-founded Kwanzaa also in 1966. So the Husia, 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 the Husia. Also, Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization by Tony Browder. I would also encourage you maybe to read his follow-up book, Egypt on the Potomac, which deals with how the layout of Washington, D.C. is based upon the layout of ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt. It's based upon ancient African principles, Egypt on the Potomac. And then also he wrote another book. Browder's a friend of mine. I've interviewed him a number of times. We're in a few documentaries together. Yeah, another book he wrote was dealing with Karakamon from the either 25th or 26th dynasty, the high priest. And Browder did an excavation of, I think it was his tomb or something like that. Okay, because Browder's an archaeologist as well. So he has a book dealing with Karakamon also. Okay, let's see. Okay, so February 12th through the 25th, 2020, everybody, this is a trip to Africa led by Queen Afua, and I've known Queen Afua for years as well. We were at the Return of the Gods in San Diego that Kateria knows, and Herb Alchemist organized. We were there last August of 2018. Any last words that you want people to know, or anything that they need to do? Now, people need a passport, right? People need a passport.
Yes.
For this, okay.
Passport, no shots.
Yeah, it's not mandatory, any vaccines or, you know.
Okay, so vaccines are not mandatory.
No, just eat your greens and vitamins.
Oh, what'd you say about vitamins?
Just eat your greens and bring some vitamin C and you'll be set.
Okay, now, so let me ask you a question. So this is going to be February 12th through the 25th. What is the weather like in Kemet or Egypt at that time? So just people would know and kind of be prepared. What is the weather like at that time of the year?
50s to 70s,
yeah,
70s.
During
70s.
the day, about 70. It gets a little cooler at night, so you want to bring a sweater, a vest, or someone like it gets to like 50 at night. But we'll be there, you know, in the sun in the 70s, and tank tops, skirts, you know, light linen pants will work well as well. And yeah,
Okay.
just light sweaters. I did want to mention, Michael, that we have a 5% promotion in place right now, and it is going on till the end of the month. We might extend it to mid-December. So if you're able to pay in 2 lump sum payments or even 1 full payment, it's going to be 5% off the total price.
Okay, 5% off promotion. Now, where can people get Queen Afua's books? Because I would assume that people should read like some of Queen Afua's books before they come on a cruise.
At queenafua.com.
Queenafua.com. Okay. Queen, that's AFUA. Queenafua.com. All right. Okay. So look, any last words before we get out of here?
I just want to make sure that people know that we're not just visiting sites of ancient relics. We're also going to the largest living organism on the planet, called the Hapi, which is now known as the Nile River.
Yep, the Hapi River.
The reason why we are here. It is the reason why ancient civilizations were created, by using agriculture. And because of that, it's one of the reasons why people from all over the world, from all different religions, from all different spiritual systems, continue to visit antiquity.
Okay, excellent. Actually, yeah, HAPI, Hapi, not happy like Pharrell, but Hapi, HAPI. Okay, the Hapi River.
Right.
Okay. So there'll be a detox spa, soul, sweat, 5 unique temple rituals hosted by Queen Afua, vegetarian, vegan breakfast and dinner daily, 16 temple sites, 4-day Nile River cruise. So this is going to be fantastic. Womb yoga dance workshop hosted by Queen Afua, and then Life's Purpose workshop with Kateria Knows Live. Okay, any last words, Sister Akmeret?
I just wanted to add that this will be our 4th time going in 3 years, and we really prize on just being there and accommodating people and making sure that everybody's comfortable. Our hotels are 4.5 star. The Nile River cruise is also 4.5 star. So this is a legit, luxurious, you know, treat for yourself. You're investing in your health, in your travel, and in your knowledge. So thank you so much for having us, Michael.
No problem. Okay, now Doriel Larrier said, great topic. I'm also a sacred woman from the class of 1994. And she said, Queen of an amazing leader in the community. And let's see, we also have Dawn on. We have Ashley, Ashley Jones, Felicia, just a few of the people watching as well. Last words, Kateria.
I just want to say that this trip is coming in such a timely fashion. The fact that we are going to be on sacred land, starting a brand new decade. 2020, we're not just, embarking on a new year. This is a brand new decade. And coming from an astrological standpoint, there are so many phenomenal astrological alignments that are taking place at this time, just with the fact that the North Node is in a sign of the Great Mother, which is Cancer. This is a phenomenal time to really tap into that energy, understanding that Cancer rules the past, it rules ancient civilizations, and this is where we are going. We are going to be Sankofiing that power of our ancestors back into our bodies, especially on the Hapi River. It's just a very powerful and phenomenal time. And I know that it's very important for us to get this charge. And we wouldn't get this type of a charge being anywhere else on the planet. And just with these people, with Queen Afua leading the way, and also I feel like we didn't really highlight the fact that we are filming a documentary. So you really
talk about that.
This is a very, very powerful thing to, go down that will be a part of history forever. You literally will be immortalizing yourself being a part of this documentary. So invest in yourself, invest in your own legacy, invest your money. This is just going to be so worth it. So yes. Nevertheless, thank you so much, Michael, once again for having us on. And you look really fly in red.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right. Now, what's the name of the documentary?
Sacred Woman. Sacred Woman. And this will be the 4th documentary that we'll be making and rolling out in 2020. The reason why we're making Sacred Woman is because we want to make sure that the narrative of women and African pilgrimage is documented correctly and rolled out for the 12-year-old, the 12 to the 20-year-old, of what is a Kemetic standard, what is an African standard for women to live by, which is promoted, documented, and directed by Queen Afua.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And where can people get your other documentaries that you did?
At tehutifilms.com. We'll be rolling out a documentary called Hapi, which is at hapifilms.com. We'll be rolling out another film called This Legacy of Ours, which is hosted by the Temple of Anu. Also rolling out a film called Tai Chi Internal Healing Arts by Grandmaster Musa Ware.
Oh, you're dealing with martial arts, internal martial arts, Tai Chi Chuan. Okay. Tehuti is Tehuti, correct?
Yes, sir.
Tehutifilms.com. All right, guys. Well, look, you have well, gentlemen and ladies, sisters and brothers, you have a great night, and we'll talk to you next time, okay?
Thank you, Michael.
Peace, Michael.
All right. All right, peace. All right, everybody. Hey, this is Michael Imhotep, founder of the African History Network, host of the African History Network show. We will be on Sunday for the African History Network show. We'll be on Sunday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from the studios of 9:10 a.m. the Superstation. We'll broadcast right here on Facebook Live, and we'll see if we can broadcast on my YouTube channel, Michael Imhotep. But we'll be on Sunday. Let's see, what date is that? 16, 17. Sunday, November 17th, we'll be on live 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we should be back on, I guess, every Sunday from now on, but, 9, 10 a.m. But Thanksgiving is coming up, so we probably won't be on that Sunday. If you want me to do a presentation for your group or organization, now look, Kwanzaa is coming up. And people are going to ask me to speak at that Kwanzaa event the day before the event. Kwanzaa is coming up. I'm already speaking at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History, the second day of Kwanzaa, Kuji Chagalia. That event is 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., I think it is. So the Malcolm X grassroots movement already reached out to me. Second day of Kwanzaa, I'm speaking. If you want me to do a presentation for your group or organization for Kwanzaa, email me now. Customer service at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Customer service at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Because my understanding, Charles H. Wright Museum, they're only doing Kwanzaa the first 4 days. Last 3 days of Kwanzaa, I'll probably be on the road. Or I may be on the road 6 days. I don't know. But it's first come, first serve. So email me, customer service at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. if you want me to speak at your Kwanzaa event. And when I do presentations dealing with Kwanzaa, I deal with the origins of Kwanzaa and the African first fruit harvest festivals that Kwanzaa is based upon. And then I tie things into it like the film Black Panther and other things into it as well. So the type of presentation I do for Kwanzaa is different than what a lot of people in general are used to seeing, okay? Customer service at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, all right? Also, if you want to advertise with the African History Network, email us at customerservice@AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, customerservice@AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, and we'll let you know how you can advertise with the African History Network, as well as on the audio podcast of our various shows and our Sunday night shows. We're on 8 different podcast platforms. We're on FM Player, TuneIn, iTunes, Castbox, Acast, a number of different podcast platforms also, okay? All right, let's see. So we have Karen. We would love to have you at the 55th Annual Selma Jubilee Bridge Crossing. Let's do a workshop, okay? Karen, either email me or inbox me here. It's easier if you email me. Because it goes straight to my email and I can respond from anywhere, even if I'm on the road. But you can email me at customerservice@AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. And Selma, yeah, the 55th Annual Selma Jubilee. So that's dealing with the Selma to Montgomery March, anniversary of the Selma to Montgomery March. Say Doriel, let the folks know your calendar is getting filled quick. Yep, and then also for Dr. King Day, if you want me to speak at your event for Dr. King Day, let me know, or that weekend, what have you, we could do something, but also for African American History Month, because I know I'll be on the road. So in February of this year, February of 2019, I did about 15 presentations for African American History Month, because the city of Inkster, Michigan, which is a suburb of Detroit, they held events. They had 28 events. They held events for 28 days, okay? And so I know I'll be probably doing some of their events if they're going to do the same thing again, because it was a big undertaking, the first time they've ever done that. First time I've ever seen a city do that. And Inkster, Michigan is predominantly African American, so they basically have all African American city council. They have African American mayor, but they organized 28 days of events. Every day they had something going on for African American History Month. If you want me to do a presentation, email me at customerservice@AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Now, when I do African American History Month celebrations, I don't recycle the same 15 to 20 sanitized Negroes that we're all tired of hearing about and seeing, okay? When I do presentations for African American History Month, number one, I deal with the annual theme, because there's an annual theme each year for Black History Month, for African American History Month, which comes from ASALH. ASALH is the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. That is the organization that Dr. Carter G. Woodson co-founded September 9th, 1915 in Chicago. So when I do presentations dealing for African American History Month, the first thing I do is deal with the origins of African American History Month, what used to be called Black History Month, which started out as Negro History Week, the second week of February in 1926, because we don't understand any of this history. And then I've gone and looked at the annual themes going back to 1928. And then I deal with what the annual theme is, because that annual theme is designed to give us purpose, to give us some type of historical framework to operate within. And it's an annual theme that should be studied all year. So this year's theme is Black migrations, not just the transatlantic slave trade, but also understanding the Great Migration from 1915 to 1970, where 6 million African Americans migrated from the South up north and out west, and the Great Migration totally changed this country, okay? So that's this year's theme. Within that theme of Black migrations, you have the 400th year anniversary of August 20th, 1619 in Virginia, where those 29 Africans come in on the White Line pirate ship, and they're coming from Angola, the Kumbundu speaking people from present day Angola, and they're being exchanged for supplies and food and water. And this marks the African people coming into Virginia in bondage. Now, even though in 1619 codified slave laws don't exist, the first colony to have codified slave laws is Massachusetts in 1641. And these 20 and odd Africans are put into a form of indentured servitude. We also have to understand that the Spanish were taking Africans into the territory we today call South Carolina 93 years before that in 1526. So that's not the first time African people came to this land. One. Two, when we read The First Americans Were Africans, Documented Evidence by Dr. David Imhotep, who I've interviewed a number of times, and I interviewed him August 21st, 2019. Many of you saw that interview. You can go watch it here on Facebook, the African History Network, or here on YouTube, Michael Imhotep, Imhotep. When we read his book and look at the research, we see that African people have been here continuously, going back at least 51,700 years. The Khoisan, who have the oldest DNA on the planet, come from Southern Africa. They're the ancestors to the Ainu and the Twa. They go all around the world. And they were here in this land. This is before Native Americans come into existence. So when I do African American History Month presentations, they're totally different than what a lot of people are used to seeing, okay? And I deal with the history of Dr. Carter G. Woodson. I deal with the, because you can't talk about African American History Month without talking about Dr. Woodson. Well, you can, but that's the wrong way to do it. I mean, you know, that's like talking about Christmas without talking about Christ. It's like, what are you talking about? Okay, you can do it, but you know. So I talk about Dr. Carter G. Woodson. You got to talk about the man, okay? This is an excellent book on Dr. Woodson, Carter G. Woodson in Washington, D.C., the father of Black history, okay, by Dr. Pedro Gaglo Dagbovi, who's a history professor at Michigan State University. This is Dr. Woodson wrote many books, but this is his most well-known book, most likely, The Miseducation of the Negro, 1933. So I deal with a lot of history in my African American History Month presentations, okay? So email me at customerservice@africanhistorynetwork.com, customerservice@africanhistorynetwork.com. Our current promotion, because we have my lectures that I've done this year, we have them in a 6 DVD bundle pack, Black Migration 1619 to 2019. The Year of Return, it's a 6 DVD bundle pack. It includes my presentation from February 2019 dealing with Black migrations. It includes my presentation, 6 Principles of Political Self-Defense, some other presentations I've done, one on Juneteenth, the real history of Juneteenth, one dealing with when Black men dominated horse racing. But it's a 6 DVD bundle pack. We have it in DVD format and digital download format. So we just posted the link here. It's also available at our website, africanhistorynetwork.com, africanhistorynetwork.com. All right. And also, if you'd like this type of information, you can donate to the African History Network, paypal.me/the AHN show, paypal.me/the AHN show. That helps us to keep doing the research, stay on the air, pay the bills, etc. It helps when I have to travel out of town and speak out of town, travel to get to the airport and do all types of things like that, okay? All right, let me see here. Who else we have here? Sherwin, okay. How you doing, Sherwin? Karen. All right, so look, guys, hey, we have to get out of here. Remember, at the African History Network, we focus on educating, empowering, and inspiring people of African descent throughout the diaspora and around the world. Because right knowledge corrects wrong behavior. What you do for yourself, what you do to yourself, and what you allow the people to do to you and get away with is based upon what you think about yourself. What you think about yourself is based upon what you have been taught about yourself. What you've been taught about yourself is based upon everything you've read, heard, and seen about yourself. When you control the radius of a man's thoughts, you can control the circumference of his actions, because the mind can't do or teach what it doesn't know. We'll see you all Sunday night, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, right now is correct wrong behavior. It's not over till we win. Wakanda forever. And we'll talk to you next time. Peace.